One of my favorite arguments that some men have is, I'm a good man and no one appreciates me, so I'm just going to become a passport bro. Or, I'm giving up on dating and I'm just going to pay a schmags worker instead and have zero aggravation. No, you're not. You're not a good man. You're a transactional man. You expect that if you're good or nice or jump through all of these hoops, you will get something in return. And if you are that kind of a man, then you are. Just own it. But the mark of a true good man or woman, a good person, is will you be kind? Will you be good to another when that person is not being good or kind to you? Tossing your hands in the air and having a tantrum saying you're going to take your toys and go to a different playground does not make you a good playmate. It just makes you manipulative, and it exposes you as someone who only behaves well when it's for their own gain.
What point was she trying to make here? Fellas, there's no problem with you wanting to go to a different playground when no one at the one that you're at wants to play with you. Now, obviously, take accountability for your actions. If you're actually mistreating women, then that's on you. You need to correct yourself. But I get it. If you're the one constantly going from date to date, everything tries to too transactional. And it always seems like they think that the only thing that you want is to sleep with them, when guys are actually out here trying to get an actual relationship.
This is a funny comment to me because smart men don't get married. It's literally statistically proven that men who are married end up living longer because they are partnered with women. This is just in heterosexual relationships because, again, we don't study things like women and gay people. And studies have also proven that men will more likely leave their sick wife if she comes down with a terminal illness, but that does not reciprocate when a man comes down with a terminal illness. A woman will stay and care for him until his death, essentially.
Meanwhile, there's many examples online that you can find a woman saying that men are awful when they're sick, in their worst state. You need to get up and become a man. Stop asking me to collar you and take care of you.
Men being sick, horrible.
I hate men being sick. It's the worst genre of man.
Isn't that what women are supposed to do? Nurture you and nurture you back to health so you can go out there and fight again. Women don't want to do that.
And so I think when men say this, like smart men don't get married, it's because that they don't want to share the resources that they know they have an upper hand at in this environment. They just don't want to share that with women. And they think that that's like solving them of their own problem, when in actuality, we all live under capitalism and money is not the end all be all. There is a reason why blue zones exist and quality.
Stop with this whole upper hand crap. Women make as much money as men, but they just choose a lot of the fields when they end up making less money as men if you take the overall. And it isn't that we don't want to share that with women. That's part of one thing that we actually want to do. All men, especially want to once again in a relationship and have a wife and family, they all want to be able to provide for that family in such a way that the family doesn't have to do anything. That is their ultimate goal. And sadly, that goal is becoming increasingly harder. But when it comes to the marriage thing, it becomes even more volatile because even if they try their best, the marriage should still fall apart. And then half of the resources are gone and it's all downhill.
If life is important, money is a made-up concept. So by all means, don't get married. Leave us alone.
I texted him earlier in the day. I was like, hey, are you busy later? He said, what's later? This is where he starts to piss me off. Already. Off rip. And I said, 8:30. Nigga gonna say, why so late? Huh? Late? I said 8:30 isn't late. The sun just goes down at 6 o'clock now. The fuck?
If I were to guess, I would say that the man is busy. They always want these men to be providers, get all this money, but they always want them to be available.
I was like, well, you know I got kids that I gotta put down, so you gonna come over after they go to bed. The hell? So boom, we got this time secured. I'm thinking, right? And I'm so considerate. He got OCD, so I already had new sheets on my bed. Changed the new sheets to newer sheets. Washed new towels and new clothes, and I timed it so that whenever we was done, that the dryer would be done, so his towel and shit would be warm. 8:30 roll around. I think it was like 8:45 or some shit. I was like, you en route? Like, you on the way? He said no.
Rejected.
I'm on the way to somebody.
It was at this moment she became that much more attracted to him.
If you don't think marriage is a business deal, then you ignore how many men have gone bankrupt in divorce. A lot of men are expected to give and not expect anything back. But some women will only give when they get what they want from him first. Pay for the first date or else I won't go out with you again. Give me a ring before we move in together. A home for the children. And do the chores correctly or else you're not getting laid. I've seen whole accounts being dedicated to marital coercion. But who exactly is being coerced? And we wonder why men are leaving marriage by the droves.
It's great to see some women actually get it, but this is the kind of girl that gets called a pick-me. So you kind of got, gets torn down. It's against sister code.
When I say that it's easier for men to date, I guess, is because it's not that it's easier for them to get a date. A woman can get a date like I've never had a shortage of men in my DMs. I could get a date. If I was single tomorrow, I could have 15 dates lined up for myself. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is in a relationship, finding someone who isn't trying to pull a power trip on you or isn't trying to change you. And this isn't just from my perspective. All of my girlfriends struggle with this. Is you just want someone who wants you for you, and instead they want someone else, but they just like the way you look, and so they're trying to change you. At least with my friend group and me, we ask for pretty much the bare minimum. Love us, be able to take care of yourself. I don't want to babysit you. At least just take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. And have passion for something and just accept me for who I am. That's it.
So her argument for why men have it easier in the dating market is because their standards are lower. Now, I don't know what these men are asking, but I can only imagine it's only the top % of guys that are always messing with. And those are the guys who, they want you a certain way or you can get out of the way.
What the fuck is going on that men don't want to put any effort into their relationship? What happened to men courting women?
Ah, there it is. The modern definition of courting is literally taking care of literally everything. No, don't get me wrong, guys. If you ask to go out on a date, you should go ahead and plan it. I think that's the right thing to do. Go ahead and make sure everything's taken care of. You need to take control as a man. Now, a lot of these things are being taken care of. They are being taken to places, but the next being taken to the places that they want. They can't go ahead and tell their girls that, hey, I went here on my date and make them excited. If they say, hey, I went on the first date to a coffee shop, all we did was talk and got to know each other, who's there for that? And that's what any of my courting. They want the best thing. And they always fight for it. They want dinner. They want dinner. They want dinner. They're not a coffee date kind of girl.
I just went on a first date and it was horrible. Train wreck. Garbage. I don't know who raises these people. It blows my mind how awful the dating pool is.
I wish it was more to this video here so we can understand exactly what went on, but I could only imagine it. If I went on the date, probably was barely any conversation. He was probably trying to leave the entire time, as he should, at least in the beginning, But you got to let the girl get in there somewhere, because what else are you there for? You're trying to build a relationship, get to know each other. If they're not trying to get to know you whatsoever, then you need to back out.
This is the thing I hear from all women nowadays. We're all the masculine men. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, the second you meet them, you run and hide.
Because they don't want to sacrifice a part within themselves, so that would require them to show up.
Men are not willing to give up their commitment for somebody that is still committed to other things. And women need to really understand that it's not easy to be with a real man.
I have made the decision to opt out of dating for next year and for the foreseeable future, honestly, because
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
One of the most common comments that I get when people watch my partner shaming or watch me call out bad behavior is, this is why I'm done with dating. And I want to address this because, shoot, I did not mean for that to be the point of this channel. Don't get me wrong, I actually think being single is great. I think people who enjoy being single actually make the best partners, but one of the biggest reasons I started the whole woman-splaining men to women series was as a response to all of the anti-men echo chambers that I kept finding myself stuck in. It all started to really affect my anxiety and my depression because I started honestly believing that all men were like these horror stories I was seeing online. But at the end of the day, it's just not true. And so I wanted to start poking holes in those echo chambers. So if the whole reason I started making videos was to get women to stop saying men aren't worth it, the last thing I want men's takeaway to be from my videos is women aren't worth it. Dating isn't worth it. love isn't worth it. It is! Look, since I've started, I've made generously 500 videos. Even if every single one of those videos was about a woman engaging in bad behavior, which they're not, that's still a very marginal, tiny population that does not represent all women. Look, I don't have the numbers on this and I don't have a way of conventionally proving it to you, but I honestly believe that most men and most women are good people who care about other people and improving themselves. It's just that the ones who don't are very, very loud. I just wanted to remind you of that as you continue interneting, because I was poisoned and it was not good. Do not let yourself get poisoned too.
I agree with this. There's bad people on both sides, but there's also good people on both sides. And that's one thing I don't want you guys to misunderstand when you're on this channel. But yeah, fellas, it's a hard world out there and you need to be able to vet these women. Don't let them tell you other lies. Make sure you're making the right move. Let's stop the video right here. Go ahead and be sure to hit the videos on your screen right now. And if you haven't commented yet, do so. And of course, hit the subscribe button. All right, to the next tape.